Hello.
What's up?
Hi.
Today is May 27, 2023. And we are currently in White Springs, Florida at the Florida Folk Festival. And today we will be talking about experiences that longtime participants and volunteers have had with the festival. And I will put my mic on now. All right. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate it. And I will ask you each to state your full name.
Well, first of all, we never got our candy. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Only if
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. If you're
Okay. I'm Jennifer Ford.
Amelia Ford.
My name is Seth Ford.
Ford. Okay, the Ford family right here. Now let me ask you where each of you were born and what year.
What year?
Well, you don't have to say the year.
Go ahead.
I was born in Maryland,
Oops.
Annapolis.
but I lived in Florida since I was 3, and that's all I know.
Okay. And how about you? When were you born? Where were you
I was born in Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay. And?
I was born in Rockledge, Cocoa, Florida, but I was only born there. I immediately, not long after that, came to Fort Myers, Florida, where my family is from.
So y'all are all really Floridians.
Almost completely native, if it weren't for her.
I know.
Okay, and you grew up in Florida, so you're totally Florida indoctrinated, I would say. All right. So
Southwest Florida.
Southwest Florida, okay, yeah. So here, let's talk about, since we're here to talk about the Florida Folk Festival, let's just start in. Where did you first hear about the Florida Folk Festival?
I played in a band many years ago in Fort Myers, where I grew up with another fellow that grew up near us, that is in a band that's been here for many years called the New 76ers. His name is Danny. He's one of the members. And I had been out of touch with him for a very long time. And then when we reconnected, he had told me about how his band had played here for many years, the New 76ers. And he said, you know what, man, you're as Florida as it gets. You should be going there. And on a lark, we decided to, submit an email to them saying, hey, we have a group, we play together. And we sent it to them, and they said, come on up. That was in 2017 or 18?
2018.
2018. And we came up, and we really, really enjoyed it a lot. And we've kind of made it a yearly tradition at this point.
Yeah, it's like a family tradition now. We fell in love with it.
Like Hank says.
That's one of the questions, but it's coming up later.
About Hank Williams Jr.?
No. Well, that could be a question.
Okay.
So you've been coming since 2018. Mm-hmm. Has it been well, maybe not during the pandemic.
Well, no, they didn't have it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have it. They had
and those are the years that we cried.
Almost the whole month of May.
Is this the first year they've had it since?
No, they had it last year.
They had it last year. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What were you going to say?
They had it last year, that's what I was going to say.
There you go.
Okay.
Much clearer coming from her.
Right. Now, most of the people we've been talking to have been coming for, a decade, I would say. Mm-hmm. So some of these questions might not feel good to you, but so what? I think this one might. What do you look forward to coming every year?
We're going to start with Amelia. Go right ahead.
I always love camping. It's so much fun. And I like listening to all the music, and it's really fun to go contra dancing in the front by the tower every year.
I look forward to seeing familiar faces, the faces we see from year to year, and seeing how the kids that get together and we grow up with them and seeing them grow up together That's really cool. And then seeing new faces too, and making like friends. It seems like for life. And the food
Down by the marble stage.
at the church
There's
ladies.
some ladies.
Church ladies.
They cook the food, and it's fantastic. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. I try to make it a point to go to the church ladies at the marble stage every year. And first year we had some chicken and rice, and then some chicken and dumplings, and then other dishes involving chicken, and some other carbohydrates. I enjoy those. They have a lot of sweet tea. That's really good. There are other places to eat as well that I also enjoy. There's a Greek lady who has some fantastic Greek food. I could run down a litany of different kinds of foods that have enticed me back to the folk festival. I also enjoy the music very, very much. I have friends, I think I mentioned before, the New 76ers. I love seeing them play every year. I like going to see the Seminole ladies over there, the crafts that they have. I got this necklace. It's in FSU colors, which I know you guys probably love. And and we also go, what else? Going to hear the stories in the clock tower, the contra dancing.
Stories are my favorite.
Just if we can take an aside here, we never knew what contra dancing was before 2018. And then one day as we were walking around, we saw people lined up and moving. And we thought that was kind of interesting, so we watched, and now it has become a part of our lives. Contra dancing, which if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would be lining up and dancing with people in North Florida, I'd have said, you're crazy. But stranger things have happened. I do enjoy that very much. And this is the one part of the year where you're furthest away from anything football related. So I don't mind driving up here on the weekend and spending some time with family and music and food.
Thank you for that answer. That was great. So getting back to the camping, which I think that's everyone's favorite, because there's a community, right, in the campground. Mm-hmm. And so do you have any memorable, like a particularly nice memory of camping? What happened that...
We have a memory.
Every time we come, we always usually go in the same spot, and the same spot always has like a bunch of fireflies. In the first year, I caught one with my bare hands, and that was always a lot of fun. And now every year we go back and we try to find some fireflies.
In the first year, she saw her very first shooting star. We both saw the same one while we were camping here, and that was really cool to share that moment.
The star spotting, the catching the fireflies, this is all part of our ninja training.
Fireflies are awesome.
And we do have many memories of camping essentially in the same spot. These two, she loves it so much that she wrote a song about it. And we performed it. We performed it this year. People seem to like it. I'm not sure what people like and don't like. I can't really get a read on anybody here. But I'm sorry. But we do have special things that have gone along in that campground. The first time we came, there was beautiful, beautiful music all through the air all night long, and we were taken with it. We thought that was.
And they were all like, "Come on in,
come on, come play with us." We have a video of her. Very first time we were here.
We brought a kazoo.
Violin. Yeah, and we were able to tap our feet along, and it was great. We provided percussion.
There was someone playing the saw.
Yeah, that was someone playing the saw. But last year, there was one thing that was extremely memorable. We set up our camp. It was just slightly adjacent to where we normally would, and then we decided that we were going to try and rest up for the next day and start that rest at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and found out that we were right next to the violin jam tent in the campground, and they proceeded to saw cats in half until 5 in the morning. And so that is memorable. Can't say if it's good or bad, can't really get a read on that situation, but it happened. And that's something that we remember, and this is about memories, right? Okay.
It's completely about memory. So how about this question? Do you have someone that you met here at the festival that had a big influence on you? I think you have the band, right?
No, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am easily influenced, but they have. Go ahead.
Oh, I was influenced by Frank Lindemood. He's been playing here for
Frank, if
a
you're
long,
watching
long
this.
time. I remember seeing him in the Watchtower. He was doing stories with songs, and it really.
He's going to be there in 30
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah. We will be watching him. He is in my opinion, a highlight for real. Speaking for real, Frank Lindemann.
He's the real deal.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's a state of Florida treasure.
He's treasure.
That man, and he should be highlighted, and you should be talking to him before us. That's for sure. And I'm not joking. That guy's great. There's others. Hold on,
there's
just to
plenty
say,
others.
there's others. There's Grant Livingston. He's from our half of the state. A very sweet man who writes beautiful, beautiful songs about Southern Florida. He should be mentioned. Grant Peoples. He's awesome. He's very politically active. I appreciate that. Even though we don't really make political music, I appreciate what he does.
What
and
he
I
says.
like what he does. And I appreciate every bit of his activism and his spirit. Of course, New 76ers. They're probably the most beautiful. I mean, they just have beautiful voices.
Good harmony.
Very, very beautiful voices. Kelly writes a fantastic song. So does Danny, and Brian's great too. But there are others that we do see year after year that we really enjoy a lot. There's a fellow that plays guitar, Alan Shadd. He's here every year. He's a Floridian, and I do know guitar players. He's maybe the most amazing guitar player that this state has, and that is not hyperbole. That's not a joke. That guy's amazing. And he's here year after year. And there's others. I mean, if we sat here and, ran down a list, but those are the ones that jump right out in front. And Calvin's here.
Yeah. Like Amelia made friends with these, the kids that show up every year and time, so we remember them. And yeah, it's just.
Jet, Rocket,
Yeah.
Annabelle. There's kids that we've seen year after year. And one of them, the Shape Note Singers, I don't know if they're here this year, but there's a family that comes down from the center of the state, or comes up, you sit down, everything's always down with us, but comes up from the center of the state, and they have it's Dean and Rachel Jens, and they have a son, Calvin, that we see year after year, and we've watched him. I think the first time we saw him, he was about that big. Now he's about that big. So yeah, we're just watching them grow up year after year. That's pretty cool.
So, did you when you first came here, they asked you performed. Did you perform here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the questions is they want to know how that was, how your first performance, how did you feel, and how did that go?
What do you think?
I was kind of nervous, but I was a bit younger, so I didn't really know too much, and I was kind of just walking around shaking the shakers because we were at the kids' tent, and I was kind of just playing around, but now it's a lot easier.
What was the question again?
They would like to know when you performed here for the first time. How did that go? How was that? How did you feel? Or memories, reflections, really.
I felt really happy and grateful and very nervous. I always get nervous, but it was a lot of fun, and I don't know.
I remember that we were playing, and they didn't have a very sturdy stage, and so we put our seats on the ground. And of course, the ground was very soft.
started
and it started
sinking.
digging into the ground. And then I didn't know where my feet were supposed to go, so I kind of lost control of them, and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I kind of swerved to this side, so it's kind of like being on a boat. And then I got seasick, and then.
So yeah, it was kind of a disaster. Okay, we didn't.
It wasn't perfect, but then again, nothing is.
No, it wasn't. It was great though. We were just like
It's kind
thrilled
of the
to
same
be
thing
there.
every time, to be honest with
I
you.
love it.
Yeah, it was fun. Just played for a bunch of kids like we kind of do. Yeah.
So, what instrument do you play? Y'all play? What do you play?
I play the bongos.
I kind of just play some smaller instruments like shakers or kazoo.
Glockenspiel.
I can do the glockenspiel.
Oh, and I play the guitar mostly.
And y'all play together, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's fantastic. Now, let's see. We have been getting some nice stories. They're one of the, I guess, this would qualify for just about everything we've heard, but it says, do you have any funny stories?
I'm sure we do.
Any
I don't know.
funny
Can't think
stories?
right now.
I think we've told a lot of them.
Yeah, when we were sinking in the sand.
Look at
was
Calvin.
pretty good. I know.
You just missed that.
I know. They're all just
I wish the camera was
fighting
turned from-
bubbles over there.
Okay, so they love to go camping. They think it's the most awesome thing in the world to go camping. They also have these dreams of going on the Florida Trail, which I think is not terribly far from here. I don't know about that.
No, it's right
That's
there.
kind of their thing.
I
It's
saw
right,
behind here.
it's right over there on the other side of that tree. And they talk about doing these things and going camping and about how awesome it is to stay outside and all these other things. And I like to go along with it and pretend that I'm okay with it. I do really enjoy being from South Florida. Air conditioning, it's a big part of my life. And at the same time, when they sing the chorus of "We love camping so much," that I will be constantly inundated about questions of, are there going to be ticks? How long are we going to be here? Can we go to Chick-fil-A? And
Yeah, right.
things like that. And in reality,
I'm
as
more
much
worried
as they
about
sing
ticks.
about wanting to go camping, the fact of the matter is that, you know, they're bringing air mattresses. It's pretty much going to be the same thing almost as being at home.
Except
So
there's ticks.
they say and they write songs about, but what I'm trying to say is I live with them and I don't buy it.
I never asked Chick-fil-A.
Well, you have. You had it this morning, and we had to stop and spend time. It's been part of our journey. Go ahead.
All right, so here's a good question. What is a typical day like for you here? Kind of tell us what your day is like.
Usually it's hot, but today's been kind of nice.
Oh, yeah, this year's beautiful.
Hot and sweaty, but a lot of fun.
Well, usually we always play in the mornings at the kids' stages. We really like going to some of the food trucks and things. It's fun for lunch. And usually at night we like to go contra dancing and look for fireflies and stuff.
Sounds like a perfect day.
Kind of is, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
how can I top that? What you're hitting me, but I mean, I don't know what I'm going to
Anything
do.
from you?
What about you?
I just tell them.
What is it? What a perfect day? Wake up. We had to stay at a hotel this time. In truth, I get one every time because I want to go to the hotel. Sometimes we have camped here. I mean, there's been times.
We like camping.
They like camping. I like hotels.
He likes air mattresses.
I like being able to take a shower right where I want to. We wake up this morning. We woke up and we immediately got coffee. That was wonderful. I really enjoy that. I like that a lot. And then driving around, then taking our time, watching a little bit of the Today Show, and then heading in the truck up here from
And then
Lake
finally
City.
coming into nature.
Yeah, and then
Zoning out of
enjoying nature.
the new Zelda game and all that.
Yeah, we're not.
stuff.
No more Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. We're unconnecting. I turned my phone off.
We're unplugging.
I got new shades specifically for this, and then come out here and absolutely just soak up the beautiful, gorgeous weather. I think that's the biggest thing this year.
Yeah.
The weather. That will be the
nice.
story of this folk festival, of the 2023 Florida Folk Festival.
You know
how
what? Wait.
fantastic the weather was.
I'm going to start from here and we'll do the wave
Do the
for
wave.
the weather.
Go ahead.
Ready? That's for the weather.
Right. And then, no, but for real, the I mean, seeing everybody year after year, just I'd like to say that we discover new music and new musicians just about every year. I'm trying to think if there's anybody new that we've really seen that's that's blown our socks off this year. Has there been anybody new that we've seen?
Not yet. We still have
The
time.
Lee Boys.
Oh, you like them?
The Lee Boys.
I don't think I've heard
That's
them.
you weren't there. I'm sorry.
I wasn't there. I
Yeah,
missed
they
that
weren't
one.
there. playing in the kids area, which they spend most of their time at. The Lee boys are steel guitars. It's like steel guitars. That was cool. That was cool. So you're gonna find and see something new
Every time.
every year. Yeah, every year you come, even if it's like most of the time seeing people that you haven't seen in a year. Most of them live in the north half of the state. We don't, but you are going to wind up in those 3 days. If you're here for 3 days, you're going to wind up seeing somebody that you go, oh, I haven't heard that before, and it's going to be interesting to you. And it didn't fail this year. I mean, I had to think about it. Some years you'll see that a lot. This year it was the Lee boys.
That leads me right into kind of a more thoughtful question is, why do you come back every year? What brings you back?
You say it all the time. Go ahead, say your line.
What's my line?
People have asked this question, and you have said,
it feels like a family reunion.
That's it.
Every time you come here, you see familiar faces. And, like I said before, it's like you're growing up with them. And it's like a family reunion with people that you want to see.
And it's always a lot of fun to play songs and perform for people. And this year we played somewhere different from the kids' stage for the first time.
Yeah.
The Seminole stage was great.
It was awesome.
We want to play there again.
We made a lot of friends at that. For real, a lot of people showed up that normally wouldn't come to the kids' stage thing. We'd like to play, if you're listening, we'd like to play the Seminole stage or maybe another. We don't mind playing the kids' stage. I mean, that's kind of what we do, but it would be cool to play another one.
We are growing up.
Yeah, we are growing up. And if you have a college stage or something like that, we'd like to enter that or something.
We like to graduate.
Yeah, the 120 minutes of the folk festival. Some college music. We'll do something very REM next year to try and get something like that started. She used to say, and I said after we came the first time, it's like we get a recharge of our batteries. And that is for real. The
Swanee River, we always have to go down there and check that out.
Fireflies and Swanee River.
Yeah.
Nature-wise, this place is awesome.
Just walking around here is just great.
Yeah, it's a recharge every single year when we come back up here. It's like when you have to get away from stuff at home, and Fort Myers is crazy, and this is definitely more rural than Fort Myers used to be like this, but it's not. But it's a recharge. And I can't believe I haven't mentioned it yet. I love Stephen Foster. Her doorbell plays bars of Stephen Foster. I love Stephen Foster. And when we got here and we found out about that tower, they don't play it here. They did play it the first year, but they play Stephen Foster songs. And when they play Old Folks at Home and Oh Susanna and Beautiful Dreamer and Hard Times Come Again No More, I love that. I don't think they're as much into it, but I love Stephen Foster. And I loved that there is a park named after Stephen Foster. That's awesome. I forgot about that because I'm thinking about so many other things. But when we first came, I was like, a park for Stephen Foster? That's so cool. Yeah.
Yes, there is indeed a park. Stephen Foster.
It is a park. It's a park, right? Mm-hmm. It's a park.
So talk to me a little bit about the community. Do you feel like there's a definite a community that's associated with the Florida Folk Festival?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a very kind community, and I like it. Everyone here is just, they're not out to be mean and tell you, hey, get out of my way. That never happens here.
Yeah, because one time I came here and I was like, what? And they were like, what? And I was like, what? And they were like,
they're like, oh, okay.
And they're like, what? And then we all were just like, what? And everything was cool.
Yeah.
So that happened. Yeah. And then community. Yeah.
And the value.
Well, I mean, everywhere you go kind of creates a community. You get an environment.
But this one's
going.
a good one. It's
but
kind.
This one's a good one. Yeah, where we come from, there's a community
everybody's mean where we're from.
Yeah.
That's why I bring that up.
Yeah. They're known to carry big sticks and rocks, pitchforks where we come from. And you come up here and somebody's like, come on, play some music. Listen to it at 5. We'll wake you up. then, it's like you get into it, until you want to sleep, and then, you're not really into it. But everybody's nice, They really are. I know I'm making jokes about it,
I know.
but they really, really are. When we first came here in the first year, like there were all these people in the. I mean, like enough can't be said about the artist area. Because when we first walked in and heard music all over the place, we were like, "This is awesome." We're normally like we're the only ones making music outside where we're from, and everybody was. And then I have a video. I just looked at it yesterday. I think it was like right after we got here. We walked and we saw these people playing music with a guy was a saw. She mentioned it, and they were playing fiddles, and they came over and they grabbed her, and it was like maybe 20 minutes after we got here the very first time, and they got her and they started playing. And they started playing. They let her play the violin, and of course the lady did the fretboard for her, but she held her arm, and it was really cool. And that was like the first thing that happened when we got to the artist area. And I'm sorry. When we first got here and they checked us in up front, and the people there were so nice when we got here. They were like, "Oh, here's your armband and here's what you're going to need." And they did it all with a smile. And we were like, wow, this is amazing. And where we come from,
They did it like this.
people don't smile.
Here?
Yeah, it's like here. I mean, people don't smile. It's just, it's South Florida. It's different. And I know I'm going on here and rattling on, but Lake City is like everybody there seems still to this day so nice.
Oh,
We don't get that where we come from. Like people, like you go into a Walmart in Fort Myers and you'd be like, oh, you try to avoid like contact with any of the workers because they're not going to really, they're just doing their jobs, and you get it. They're working at Walmart. It might not be the most fun job in the world. So you try not to ask things. You try to figure it out on your own. The last thing you want to do is ask a question. Whereas going to a Walmart here and the people just walk up and go, can I help you? And you're like, that doesn't happen in South Florida. So it's like it's recharging our batteries, right?
although we do love where we live.
It's like we have a whole year.
It reminds us.
We have zero faith in humanity, and then we come up here and like it gets restored in 3 days.
Yes.
So yeah.
Now,
So how do you feel about that?
About your response?
No, about like faith in humanity. I mean, since there's such an abundance of it up here.
well, I have complete faith in humanity.
Well, you live where there's lots, where there's enough to live of. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. So someone basically asked you to come up here for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Now, what would you say to people to get them to come up here?
You should play at the folk festival.
You gotta see this park. It's beautiful. There's a huge tower. It's right on the Swanee.
I'm kind of being silly, but I
go
can't.
camping?
We've quite literally.
Beautiful here. I think we've answered this question.
We've done that 100 times. We've said that to people that we do know and we do like being around. So there's these fairly well-known in their genre bands from South Florida who, like one of them, if you look these up, these are not just band camp bands. They are actual bands that people all over the country go to see, that we've run into and we've known for quite a few years, that we have said to them, you should play at the Florida Folk Festival because they're from Florida, because they are Florida. They are bands like, look it up, Surfer Blood, great band from West Palm Beach. Okay, really, really great. We saw them one time. They don't
just
sound
have
like
to unplug
anything
their
else here.
instruments.
Yeah, they don't sound like anything else here. But they are born and raised in Florida, and what you are hearing is Florida music. It's great. It's wonderful. And they should come play here because it's different from everything that you hear. But it's from Florida, and that's what counts. A band from Cape Coral, Florida. A very, very, very hard heavy metal band that are very well known all over the world. That they don't play in Cape Coral, but they play everywhere else. They're called Traders. Their guitar player is a guy named Alan Delatorre. Great guy. Look him up. He makes music just himself, and he just plays with a tambourine on his foot and sometimes a kazoo and sometimes a banjo, and he just plays by himself, and he's a guitar player for an extremely well-known metal band, and he is from Florida, and he makes this very, very weird acoustic music that, even though it doesn't sound anything else like here, it's acoustic, so it fits, it's good enough, and the most important thing is, It is from Florida. It's Florida. Florida created this music, where we come, there's a lot more people, it seems like, in a community of Florida people up here, as opposed to where we're from, which we are vastly, vastly outnumbered by people from elsewhere. But the people that we happen to know that are making the best music and the best art are the other people that like us, are from Florida and drowning in a sea of people from other places. So we've said it quite literally 100 times, just like that. You should play at the Florida Folk Festival. I've said it to both of them. I've sent them links. Hopefully one day they'll, get time out of their lives to take the time to sign up and come play here. I really genuinely hope that they do. I want to see new people here every year, and I want to see different people new here every year. I love folk music. I think it's great, and I love hearing my friends play folk music. I consider them folk, the new 76ers. I could listen to them all day long, but I want to hear the other weird stuff too. And I like it. Listening? Call to the rest of the people from Florida. Come play at the Florida Folk Festival, especially if you play weird music and it's from Florida.
That's a great point. And would you like, then you would like to see more diversity in this?
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, I guess. You just want to see something diversity and different. That means the same thing, right? I guess. Yeah, something different, but I mean new and not the same. Diverse. Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Just to make it, it doesn't necessarily have to be weird, just different. Just different, and if you're good at the old stuff, there's nothing wrong with that either. There's plenty of guys here that play old time music that I love. And if you've never been here, obviously you should do that, but I like the weird stuff. Do you?
I like it all.
You don't? Yeah. Oh, you do. I mean, yes, she does. She does.
Well, Sarah, do you have anything you want to ask?
I don't think I do. I think we hit a lot of the questions.
The porta potties here are very clean.
Very clean. They do
Yes.
a fantastic job.
All the time. Every one that I've been in.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's another plus.
We ate dinner in one last night. It was so clean. It was beautiful. Pristine.
There you go.
Looking for those words as buzzwords. Pristine porta potties. Don't be afraid to use the bathroom at the Florida Folk Festival in the porta potty. It's great. Where are you guys from?
Let's close out the interview and
Oh, come on. Make it part of the interview.
We have to transcribe all this.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, so it would be boring. I'm from where I'm from. I had to tell people 1,000 times. I wish he hadn't asked this question. It was.
No. But seriously, but we'll be glad to tell you.
University of Florida, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
And do you teach there? Do you go there?
Both.
Stop it.
I just want to ask one last question. And
Can I ask one question before?
Okay, go ahead.
What technically is this for?
Well, this is the history of the Florida Folk Festival. And so they have asked us, we're the oral history program at the University of Florida.
That's what I was looking for. Okay.
That's what we do. And so we have come up here on the 71st anniversary to record stories like what you're telling us. And why is it so popular and long-lasting longevity of it? So that's why we're here,
Okay.
to document it. And it has been documented as far as I know.
Where is this? Is this going to be used in something? I guess this could wait until after.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead with your last
okay.
question. Yeah.
The last question is just, is there anything that you want to add? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you have a burning need to add? Anything?
I like the porta potties. They're very clean. Also, I don't know if we ever told you, but we are also known as the Shy Tunas, and that's our band, our family band name,
We play at the Kids Tent every year.
and hopefully the Seminole stage
And others.
and others.
Actually, that's something we should have asked. Can you tell us what is the Shy Tunas and how did it get its name? And
We're a family band with kids songs, and our name came from another song.
Oh, the name came from a song by the B-52s. It's called Dance This Mess Around.
And one of the dances is called the Shy Tuna. And that's pretty much
And we
most.
play songs for all ages, actually, 1 to 92.
We find that the kids dance and the parents are amused.
Okay.
Can I get an application?
You sure?
Well, this seems like a cool job.
Well, it's a volunteer job for the most part.
Oh, okay.
One
I'll
of those.
talk later, maybe.
Well, if there's anything you want to add, otherwise we'll just.
I think that's
What's your
pretty much
names?
it.
My name is Deborah Hendrix, and this is Sarah Berger.
Sarah Berger and Deborah
Hendrix.
Hendrix. Awesome.
Just
I like it. It's been a pleasure, you guys.
Yes,
Thank
this
you.
was fun.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Glad you enjoyed it. I know we did. It was fun. All right, so thank you very much, and we're going to stop recording.